Morning students, I welcome you all in this online lecture class of subject English class 8th. Students, today I am going to start with chapter 2nd, that is Children at Work, taken from the book It So Happened. Students, before starting the story, let me tell you the story is written by Geeta Wolf, Anushka Ravishankar and Arijit Singh. Geeta Wolf has written more than 17 books for children and adults. Many of her children's books have won many international awards. Works of Anushka Ravishankar are internationally acclaimed, widely translated and honored with many awards. She has authored over 18 books. Arijit Singh studied graphic design at the National Institute of Design, Ahmedabad, India since 1980. He has worked on diverse graphics exhibition related projects and has exhibited his work in Japan and Europe. Generally, this story is about a child labor, the exploitation of children through any form of work that deprives children of their childhood. This story is about children who belong to a poor families. These families have to make their children work, or some children run away from home in order to find some work or to avoid conditions at home. It tells the story of a runaway village child named Velu. He ends up in a big city and must face the harsh realities of life on the streets. The story is accompanied by facts and arguments that connect complex issues, ranging from child labor of lifestyles, waste and recycling. The story is that Children at Work goes around two main characters of the story, a boy named Velu and a girl named Jaya. Velu, who was 11 years old boy who had run away from home, he reached Chennai Central by Kanyakumari Express. He had to travel without a ticket, but was fortunate not to be confronted by a ticket checker. He could not sleep at night as some groups of men were playing cards and shouting next to him. He was feeling very disturbed. As he got off the train, his legs felt wobbly. He sat on a bench without a clue of his next step. He was just thinking what to do. He was feeling very miserable and exhausted, tired. He was hungry as he had eaten nothing except some peanuts and piece of. In the last 2 days, he carried a shirt, a towel and a comb in his little bundle. As he sat on the bench with his head in his palm, he was awakened by a rough voice. It was the voice of a girl. She was having bad hairs that were very brown, and she had a huge sack on her one side shoulder. In that sack, she was putting plastic cups and bottles that she picked from the station floor. The girl asked him, ran away from home, but Velu did not want to tell her anything about himself. He did not want to tell him about his drunkard father, who spent the money earned by him and his sister on alcohol and beat him badly. The girl asked Velu about his plan, but he did not answer. When the girl saw him press his stomach, she understood that he was hungry. She asked him, follow her, and she would get him some food. With some hesitation, because he was not knowing that girl, Jaya, that is why Velu was a little bit hesitating to go with her. The boy started following her. Walked a lot in the hot sun. When they came to a road, Velu was shocked to see the zooming cars that did not wait for him to cross. The girl helped him. It was still morning, but Velu's bare feet burned as the sun blasted down on the tar. And he was soaked with sweat. He thought it was quite different from walking on a mud road. He was thinking about the food. After an hour of walking, they stopped in front of a big building, which was an auditorium. A marriage was going to be performed inside. He read the names of groom and bride as they were written in Tamil. The boy asked the girl if they were going to eat in the auditorium. The girl just laughed after listening that. She led him to the back where there was a huge garbage bin with rubbish. Leftover food. There, two goats were also standing near the pile and fighting with each other. The girl picked up the crushed banana and vada and gave it to the boy, which he ate unwillingly. The boy doesn't want to eat. As he was hungry, he could have eaten more, but there was nothing left in that garbage bin. The girl told him that he could wait if he wanted more, but she had to leave for work. But Velu followed her as he did not know where to go, and girl looked as if she knew her. Way around the city, which was completely new to Velu. Velu asked her name. The girl answered, Jaya. They started to walk again, and she took him to the location of her house. That means where the girl was living, she took the boy to her location. Where the strange huts were there, which were made of plastic, tires and sheets, stood in puddles of water. Generally, we call it a slum area, where we find these types of hut. Velu had never seen houses like those. He thought in his village houses were made of mud and palm leaves. Jaya dumped her filled sack in front of her house and picked an empty one. That means empty sack. She also gave that one sack to Velu and also a pair of shoes without laces and a stick also. Velu asked her what was the sack and stick for. The girl said, "Dear friend, it was to pick up and collect garbage and rubbish." He asked, what use could it be for? Because the boy Velu, he was not knowing about all these things. He had never seen such type of people. That is why he questioned the girl. She explained to him that The plastics from the garbage gets collected and is sold to a jaggu, a junk dealer, who paid money for it. Jaya told him that she was a rag picker. Velu did not know of a job like that. You might have seen people taking a sack on their shoulders and picking rags in the streets. You might have seen. Like that only, the girl was also a rag picker. The only work he had done was at the landowner's farm. But there were no farms in the city where the Velu ran away from his house. Velu still not understand why some people would pay money for garbage, but he did not ask any questions. He decided to follow and work with her until he found a better job. The story gives us a picture of children who are bound to work to support not only themselves but their parents. They cannot go to school, they cannot play like other children of their age. The story draws our attention to the evil of child labor. At last, I want to say the best investment that a country can make is to put milk into its children. After explaining the story, I just came to the conclusion that Velu was a smart boy as he was new to the city. When the girl asked him to follow her in case he was hungry, he thought for a while but then accompanied her. He knew that he did not have any choice, and the girl was brave and sensitive. This was all about the story. Students, I just want to focus on that it is never too late. It is never too late to have a happy childhood. Students, I hope you all like the story. Thank you very much for listening to me.